Alrighty, so ladies and gentlemen, we had to give y'all this just to break down this project, because this project literally was a best controlled whim. This almost didn't happen. It's a really unlikely process. So me and Gio, when we said about last year, November it was, and we wanted to do a collab song at the time. Now, we had a whole thing written out, picked the beat, whole thing written out, and the beat got sold, and we was frustrated. So we put the idea down for a couple months. And then, the end of the year came, and the last year, 2023, and we said, okay, we got a gap between semesters. I was about to graduate, and he was just getting second to last semester to get out. And we said, okay, if we're gonna do something, let's do a collab project. So we upped the ambition one time. That's the first time. We sat down for 2 days and picked out beats, because we wanted it to be, if we're gonna do a collab project, we wanted it to be done well. Now, we're going off a lot of faith, because we've never heard ourselves together on a track before. We never hopped on a track. We're two different artists with two different sounds. And we're both making a big comeback. I hadn't put out music in a year and some change, and Gio hadn't put music in a couple of years. So we had no idea how this would sound. But we knew that we wanted to do something different, because we're both rappers, right? And we both sat down and said, you know what? We're gonna do some genres we haven't touched before, but we always wanted to do. Then we sat down and picked the beats.
We each decided we were gonna pick like half of the beats.
Yeah.
They're all different, house, reggae, and everything like that. To the point where, just because we wanted to make sure that we tried every single thing, because we listened to every type of music, from house to reggae to
Afrobeat,
all that.
We listen to it all. We love music like food, there's very few flavors I don't like, Latin, everything. So we picked beats from all over. We hit YouTube. YouTube's your friend. YouTube University, right? We hit up every type of producer, every type of style, and we sat down and picked a plethora of beats and pretty much eliminated the ones that we weren't feeling immediately. So we got down to about 8 beats, 4 each, right? The first beat we heard was from his side, produced by Thugstage, Imperial. And when we first heard it, he immediately started singing. Now, if you're an artist, you know what that means. You got something, you roll with that. You don't question it. He told me something really unexpected. He said, yo, Adam, I'm thinking French. This really excited me, because this is like a bucket list item for me, to do an international song. And we're like, okay, that's the first one. We got to attack that one first. The beat was hard. We both loved it. My man Gio got excellent taste. So Thugstage Imperial, we love you, bruh. So that became the record called Matrix, right? First, the song. Now, keep in mind, y'all, this is our first time getting in the studio together, all right? We've been friends for a long time, but this is first time breaking it down. Now, our first engineer, God bless him, he made it sound excellent. Once we had our preset set up, the song just flowed. The song was done so well that the engineer, when we was done, he stood up and gave me a hug. That's because he said, finally, something different. Then just chopped up a couple of our vocals from the intro, what he was saying, and just chopped up 2 lines out of me. And he extended it and put a dance break in there, which is what you hear on Matrix. So, and just remixed them and put a little drops in for a dance remix. That's how Matrix, the record, came about. Let's get to the video.
What's crazy about this is, before we even had recorded it, I already had a vision of doing a music video. But I had a feeling the song was gonna be a bang. It ended up beating my expectations,
right?
Which is the same thing with the video. I'll let him explain.
And obviously, Matrix, when we first started writing it, in our writing process for all these songs, we're very intentional. The writing process for each song, we made sure that it was dynamic for all you listeners in mind, because we had y'all in mind. We didn't want y'all to be bored. We could have done all the songs, one verse from him, one verse from me, in a standard format, but we wanted to introduce dynamics. So you first hear him on the intro, then he does the verse, then I'll do the bridge, then he does the hook. Then we switch it up to give as much dynamics. And each song brings a different dynamic to hear from us. Sometimes we're together, sometimes we're not, sometimes we alternate, sometimes we don't, sometimes I'm first, sometimes he's first, just to keep it entertaining for y'all. Going back to the video, originally, I know when we were writing, we was in the truck together, he was thinking I'm thinking I'm on the beach, I got the Zaza on me, you know what I'm saying? Just something real typical. You got this man called Wale. Now, you gotta introduce Wale properly. Wale, aka Valentino Films. Make sure you go in the description. We'll put the description here. Go follow him. He's a great director. Get him on Instagram. Blow this cat up. I always wanted to do something with him. We got a friend, the young one, another artist, another dope artist. We link him as well. I make sure to check him out. He does a lot of visuals with Wale. And I said, I always want to do something with Wale. Maybe this is the one. This is the one. Wale is so good with his, his old school cybernetic punk matrix type visuals that in color grading that we're like, we could trust him with an idea for this video. Now, we went through 4 different ideas over a period of 3-4 weeks of Zoom meetings to get this thing together. And obviously, if you know our team, me, Gio, the young one, Wale, we don't do nothing half-assed around here. We really get ambitious. So, the 4th idea came. We decided to go for the most ambitious plan ever. Put a narrative on it, hire some new actors and actresses, and just do a full-blown narrative story plus performance shots. So, when we originally came up with that plan, I did the administrative stuff behind it. But what did you think when we actually ended the meeting and said we're settling on the most ambitious idea?
I trusted it because when Adam knew Wale before me, he showed me his Instagram. I looked through it, I was like, yo, this is ridiculous, bro. Where did you find this guy? The time that this video is recorded, he's only been filming for 8 months. 8 months? Imagine you're just chilling, your friend says, like, introduces you to Mark Zuckerberg before he made Facebook, right?
Right.
We got something right
and
there.
We thought, this big elaborate plot. And when we had the script written, I heard like of the 4 scripts that we had, some of them remind me of certain movies like Mission Impossible, like stuff like Matrix and stuff like that. And he had came up with this really new hacker theme and everything like that. So y'all go watch the video. Come back to this video, we'll explain the album. Go back, watch the video and everything like that. Now, I had also, that was God's timing number 1. He's a legend already. See, 8 months, and we just lucky to know him as a friend. And then he's like, okay, bro, we got you. I put a budget together and hired some actors and actresses. These 2 talents that I found was also God's timing number 2 and 3. Shelby, our main protagonist, the Latin chick that you see, go follow her on Instagram and everything like that. She had just opened up a modeling account. And I've already been in the fashion and modeling for a little while. And I said, oh, you started modeling and stuff like that. And I thought, yo, perfect timing. I can get her first gig with us. Strategically, we scratch our back, she scratched our back at work. And she agreed, she was thrilled, because she had met me on campus just once. You know what I mean? And I established a rapport, but I forgot about her for a couple months. We didn't speak in months. And I just said, hey, yo, you getting into modeling and stuff like that? What you trying to do? Packed out some goals, got her on board. Rohit, another one of my guys. So I met him the last semester before I graduated. By the time you see this, I've already graduated. But he wanted to get into modeling and stuff like that, and he just went to his first event with me, and I was helping him break him in. And I said, yo, we need an antagonist. Let me get him his first acting gig with us. And it worked. You know what I mean? God's timing number 3. Now, the shoot days, right? First day was the most brutal. We had to shoot this back to front because, my antagonist, Rohit, was about to be out of the country. I decided to shoot Rohit stuff first. What do you think about the first day, man?
Hey, man, what's crazy? I got another story about, another song later on, but I'll get to that afterwards. But basically, throughout this, you're gonna see the theme of weather being a big issue. This was crazy. What time was it? It was like March.
It was back in March. And it was 26 degrees with a wind gust at 20 miles an hour, bro. We were up against a wind wall. It was blowing our camera equipment with bags and stuff in it. Just blowing it down the street. We was freezing so bad. I knew it was bad when, the Africans and the island people like me and Gio and all them, when I saw a tear coming out of Gio's eye, yo, bro, it was cold. And Gio's stoic as hell. He don't usually react to stuff, but it was, bro.
Yeah,
even the dark skins get red nose, bro.
It's crazy, man. We had to fight. Every ounce of my body, every single ancestor I think I knew came to me, was like, yo, what are you doing
outside?
Yeah, what are you doing? This is not meant for you. But honestly, considering what I've seen, it was worth it. Yeah. But man, it was.
Yeah, that was the first day of filming. We paid dearly for that. Hopping in and out of buildings. So it got so bad that one of the guys on the site, one of the bowling alley, thought, you guys all right? You guys keep jumping in to defrost. We said, we all right. We all right. We're going to get it done. We got it done. Praise God. Shelby and Wale took the brunt of it. We were out there for quite a bit. But toward the end, as it got to later and later, we started giving up. Like, yo, we don't got to be on camera. We're going to chill outside. We let y'all free. That's what we're paying y'all for. God bless y'all. But anyway, so second day of filming. What are we on the second day of filming?
If we're talking we're doing our performance shots.
Oh, yeah, we were for our performance shots? Yeah, so performance shots was obviously, thank you to my man, the young one, once again, he lent us his rooftop. We got the second shot done up there. The third.
It was also cold.
Yes,
cold.
It was
I don't know,
cold, bro.
This was close in like April-ish.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I don't know what kind of beef we had with Mother Nature at that time, but this was kind of like a test for us to actually get it. Because
spring was not spring on. It was still winter, man.
Yeah, spring was not springing. I don't know what was going on.
It was being stubborn. So yeah, that second day on the rooftop, it was cold. That was cold too. Third day of filming, we got Shelby. Obviously, she was way out of town. We had to get her back to the crib, you know what I mean? And of course, the young one, he's got a crib that's always has the fire department on deck. Every time we come up there, the fire department is always at his house. Something going wrong with this.
Bro got too much heat.
But got her done third day of filming. Fourth days, those were the bulk of our days. So this video, which we honestly could have done in one day of 12 hours of filming, took us 4 days over a stretch of 2 months. So we really hope y'all appreciate the video. Go to Matrix, like the video, rewatch it, tell your cousin to watch it, tell your mama to watch it, your papa to watch it, tell everybody in the family to watch it, bro. We need to love, please. We love y'all, and we put a lot of effort into it, but it was always worth it. I will say this, kind of being in a meta episode, fast forward to now when we're filming this, the trailer that we put out for it has shut down open houses, people are really impressed with Wale's work, so we're getting his price up and everything like that. So it's scratching everybody's back, it's doing his work. The ambition paid off. Now, back to the song. So the second song we did was actually called We Got It.
Oh, man. So with that song, right, craziest thing, right, the day we're supposed to record it, keep in mind, it's sunny the day before, right?
Right.
Next morning, wake up out of nowhere. You saw the movie Frozen? On God, it came out of nowhere. The next day I wake up, I see snow everywhere, snowstorm out of nowhere. I'm just like, what is going on? We had to record during a snowstorm. It's crazy. I know. I had to hit up Adam like, we still doing this?
We still doing this, right? My engineer at the time, we still doing this. I got into the truck and we driving and drifting through the snow plow and snow plane, It's too dark. I don't got a 4x4 drive, so I only got a 2-truck drive. So we was taking risks out there in the mud and snow, but we got it done, bro. And that was the first pass. Now, keep in mind, we are so intentional with this album that every song that you've heard, we've done at least 3-4 times. Like, We Got It, we didn't like the first version. We didn't like the second version. We took it later down the line, about months later, to a second engineer, and re-recorded the whole thing because, there were some parts from his point that he liked, and some parts from mine that I liked, but also some parts we didn't like. So, We Got It actually was one of the 3 songs that had a lot of work. That was We Got It, okay? So I'm jumping around, I'm going in order of how we made the song, now in order of how this whole thing came together. Because no matter how we tell this project, there's so much piecing together together. We Got It was a beat choice that I chose. The third song we did was called Clouds.
Actually, before you get into that, actually, this is technically the fourth one. There was another one before that, but because it did match up to the level of
we wasn't happy with that. We threw it out. That's not to be named.
Yeah, I ain't gonna talk.
The third song that you guys can hear, not necessarily or EP, but the third song that made it to the final cut is called Clouds, and it was an EDM joint. And this for me, I really had to take his lead on it. This really was a collab project all the way through. Because our writing process, we would take a beat and we focus on that. We chop it up and say, okay, here's a bridge, here's a hook, here's where your verse will go, here's where my verse will go, who would sound best first. We came to this song, and this one took us a week to write, unlike 2 or 3 days. It was a challenge for me because I'm like, EDM, I love EDM and disco and all that house and all that, but I don't listen to it often enough to how would my voice sound? Now, you think I'd be confident after doing Matrix and We Got It. And yes, I am. But we're also pushing ourselves genre-wise. We never touched this genre before. We've never done this many dynamics before. We've never done this many ambition before. We're really pushing ourselves on all levels. So we got to the EDM joint. He was right at home. He said, just follow my lead. He set it up. And he did most of the heavy lifting on this. He even had to send me some reference tracks just for me to get in the mode. Now, honestly, I was psyching myself out for this. When it finally came for me to write the verse, I wrote the verse in 30 minutes. And when I delivered it, it was almost one of my favorite verses on this whole EP. I sound almost flawless with the beat. It sounded like a surround sound thing. It just came off smooth as silk.
Just to say this, And I'm not glazing like crazy, but honestly, at that time, this was my favorite verse from him because it shocked because I didn't expect him to actually sound that good.
And you know, and the reason I say it sounds good is because, you know, we've been through multiple mixes and masters for each song. But this time, the first mix, when I played it in the car, my verse particularly shut it down. So I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And I like the lyrics because I get a lot of mileage out of it. You know, I just rolled with the flow of the whole thing. And like the flow dynamics, this is actually the most, this is when I was starting to push my flow switches. Because when you're a rapper or you're a songwriter or whatever it is, you got comfortable pockets. Everybody does. But in a project such as this, we can't use the same pocket across all tracks. Then they'll just catch on those and be boring. We don't want that for y'all. We want the best quality for y'all. So we said, okay, I'm gonna force myself to be more dynamic with this. That was Clouds. Okay. We held that for a while because there was one little area that we kind of annoyed us when we listened to it back. After we got to our second engineer, that was one of the songs we had to rework. That's the other three, so keep up with it. We got it, had to be reworked. Clouds had to be reworked. Now, here we go to the reggae joint.
So originally this wasn't gonna be in this.
Right.
So he played it, and I vibed so much with it that the lyrics were coming to me like this, that, to the fact that the next day I had to call Adam like, you know what?
We gotta do this.
We gotta put this. It
right.
ain't no later.
And
right
this
now,
point, we've been locked in for what now? We started in November. At this point, it's like what, March, April. We've been locked in for a couple months now. I know as an artist, but I also know from working with Gio, if he's on a roll with something, you trust that. Run with it. Just because Matrix came when he was just, the lyrics came to him. This was another one the lyrics came in. So originally there were 8 beats. Couple throwaways, couple joints didn't cut it. This was a 9th beat that I had in the chamber for like 3 years. Produced by Amrain, shout out to Amrain and them. This is actually one of our favorite joints. Now, reggae. When we took it to the engineer, first engineer again, the magician guy, he changed the presets for us. Normally, because he's used to our normal voices, he locked in with us for the first half of this project, couple, 3-4 months. And he was like, okay, I know what Gio's preset sounds like, I know what Adam's preset sounds like, I know where you guys sound best. But this is reggae, so he did something different with it. Keep in mind, this project could not come in handy without a good engineer. An engineer that loves the project just as much as you. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Like, if it wasn't for our engineer, you know, then this project wouldn't be possible. He changed the presets, not too much with, it was only a slight change, but I think a key change. But then we sounded like reggae artists. Now, the auto-tune is not gonna do the work for us. We still had to pull this off. He's from the islands, I am not. This was another project where I had to lean heavily on him. Take it away, Gio.
This was honestly the most fun I had doing the song, just because with all the voices, I don't know, it really tapped in. You saw the movie Black Panther? On God, like the ancestors came up. It's like, yo, me brethren, it's the time. I was like, yeah, walk on, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
So yeah. And to be fair, I would say this. What he did on this is honestly my favorite verse from him, because I did not expect him to go that hard on it. I know Adam has never really done anything like this, so I'm like, I wasn't too sure what to expect. I know it was gonna sound good. I know from like Clouds out, I'm like, okay, I know this guy got it, but I didn't know how he got it. He actually got it. So
pun intended for that song, we got it. Right?
Got it.
But yeah, so now here, keep in mind, I really appreciate that coming from him, because he's from the islands. He did everything. There was nothing left for me material-wise to use. So I really had to say, okay, I gotta sell this like I'm from the islands. Now, I have done some voice acting and stuff like that for like YouTube and everything like that. But and commercial work and all stuff. And I always, low-key, I always kind of wanted to sing longer than I wanted to rap. So this project has been a joy for me, just like it's been a joy for him. And I kind of always imagined myself as kind of like a smoky, you know, club type of thing. So I knew part of me thought I could do it, but he provided a challenge with, you know, the lingo. And also, for my island cats, I wanted to give proper respect, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, the culture. And if I'm going to say some island type of slang, like some patois or something, I'm not going to disrespect it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I can't really pull off an accent. So I scrapped that, because I wrote this verse, you know, 30, 40 minutes, and there was a version of it, the first version, where I was like, nah, I can't pull off an accent like Gio could. So I'm gonna just let Gio do his thing. Play to our strengths. That's something we also learned through this project. Play to your strengths. And I just said, you know what, I got some bars I've always wanted to say on a fly record, and I've had them in the chamber for years. let me bring them out now. No time like the present. So I just did. And I chopped the flow up, tried some different flows that I'd never done. Usually when I write my lyrics, I write in 2s and 4s. This time I wrote in some 3s. And I did some syncopation with the singing and in the singing flow. So originally I learned in this project to kind of, hold the note. Keep in mind, there are singers who can actually sing. I'm holding the note with a little bit of auto-tune. So I did that, and then I've added some extra dynamics and syncopation to that, and it came out to what it is. And honestly, this is one of my favorite verses off the track. It's between this and Clouds for me. So for my reggae fans, yes, we touch reggae. Go enjoy that, brother. I'm really proud of it. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is, all of these songs that we've had, a few of them, we have sent out demos. He sent reggae out to some of his friends in the islands. And what they say?
They went crazy. They even thought my boy, was Jamaican.
That was it. And that really, made my heart smile, because I was like, I'm trying to do my best to do it. And, I didn't know if it was convincing enough. So, I put my sauce into it, but hey, it worked. So, we love y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is the first time this ever happened to me, when I showed a preview on the story and people were asking me, yo, send me the unreleased.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. So, so there we go. Now, Welcome Home. I think it was your choice of the beat, wasn't it? Or was it my choice?
No, it was
my choice. It was my choice of the beat. Now, here was another one. Now, keep in mind, we're 4 songs in, and writing-wise, we've done all the flexing we can, right? We haven't done any storytelling. We haven't done any, this beat was kind of short, so there was no hook to this. That was the unique song about this song. Each song has a unique factor, the French hook on Matrix, the back and forth on Did You Know. This one just had just verse from me, just verse from him. Then I started writing concept. And this beat, for the longest time, we didn't think of a theme, because we think of themes, we're very, planned out. We have these. What's going to be a theme in the song? We wrestled with it for like a day and a half. The next day, we started writing our 2 verses right next to each other, but it turned out to be like night and day. Mine was I said, whoa, welcome home. You know what I mean? I was like doing a landing. Because this is near the base of the EP, if I'm correct, according to the album. So I was trying to do a conclusion-ish type of piece, welcome home, what would there might be a home look like? It was really, bright and sunny, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking out the window pane type thing. He's writing a whole
piece. So I'm like, it's like, we looked at it like it's night and day. Now it works, but this is actually the one we're most against each other in theme.
To be fair, I gotta say shout out to the young one, because for some reason, I don't know why. Because if you listen to the young one, he really be talking a lot of depressing stuff. For some reason, when I heard that beat, I could see only no Diddy, but I could see his face. So that whole thing was kind of inspired by him.
Right. And I was listening to his lyrics when we demoed the verses for each other before we got in the studio. I was like, dang, you wrote a really dark theme, and I'm writing something happy and peppy. I was like, okay, let's see how it sounds. We always did a field test before we go to the studio, because studio time is expensive. You know what I mean? We're not trying to waste time in there. We're getting there trying to be efficient. So we run it off each other, and it still worked. Somehow this song works. Welcome Home. And we had a great engineer. This is our second engineer now. Went to a studio uptown called Trilogy Sound Studio. Shout out to them. This is the 3rd song that needed to be worked. So we got it. Welcome Home. Did you in a second. So, did you know? Now this was, I'll be honest, the most challenging to write.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I'll be honest. Because with me, when I write songs and stuff like that, I like to make a bunch of melodies and flows before. So I like to know exactly where I'm at in the beat. But with this one, I didn't know exactly where Adam was stopping, and it was kind of like, okay, I kind of had to wing it a little bit.
Because we had gotten so good at writing songs now, even with each other, we trusted each other now. We could even, like the reggae joint, it's the only song we wrote when we're not in the room together. You know what I mean? We didn't need to. But with this, the first challenge was really fast-paced BPM. It's the UK garage type style, which is my choice. I always wanted to do something fly like this, like AJ Tracy. Shout out to AJ Tracy and all them. But it was fast-paced, and it was the only dynamic we had left was to go back and forth. Now, when you're doing back and forth, it's kind of hard to write that in different rooms. We tried, failed. So we said, okay, I had to. And I remember it was cold, it was late. I was tired after working 60 hours a week shift. I was like, if I want to drive across town and get Gio to write this, because, yes, long story short, I left the place I was at, sent him to the room like this, got him, brought him back to the room so we could write together. We sat down for like 3-4 hours and just banged it out. But we had to do it together because, you know, when you're building a flow in pieces, first of all, you don't know where each other stops and starts. But also, you want to keep with a certain theme. And, you know, we're chopping it. And it's like, you know, if Adam writes this, it affects my Gio's writing here. Gio writes this, and I got to pick it up from like a relay race. So we had to, you know, just bang it out together. So, boom. We get to the studio, Jersey Sound Studios once again, bang those out, get them done. And I'll be honest, the last two, Welcome Home and Did You Know, if it wasn't for the engineer, I wasn't confident in it. I'll be honest. I don't know, especially Did You Know, because that piecing together thing, you know, look. As an artist, this was purely for our joy and creativity. Did we kill all genres? That's up to y'all, you know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, we could have done better on some joints. I'm not going to say which ones. I'm going to let y'all find that out. Go stream the album, go stream the EP right now. But I will say, we're loving the journey. This is actually the most fun I've had making music in a long time. Because it's not stagnant. I'm doing hip-hop since 2015. I'm putting out mixtapes. Damn near one every year. I'm tired of the same old. You know, I can do hip-hop with my sleep. You know, I mean, I can freestyle like a whole song now. It's like, let's do something different. I mean, I always want to do stuff like this. This is the most fun I've had. And the most unlikely collab, because we sound so different. We always know each other, but never thought about doing a collab, let alone a collab project. So for me, I think this is the best project I've done in a long time.
Now, honestly, yeah, this is definitely like the best I saw. Because to be fair, I jumped in the music scene like a little later than you, like maybe around like 2018-ish. And it was basically I was on some trap rap. It's just a typical like I'm way too comfortable in that, so I kind of it doesn't really inspire me to do something. So I'm gonna come back. I gotta do like stuff that I always wanted to.
Yeah, you know, and have some fun. You know, I mean, when's the last time you had some fun? So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna say for any of you artists out there, a couple of things you need to do to collab project. One, whoever your collaborators are, ego gotta go. Now, this is mostly come from hip hop heads, because you know I know people in the orchestra, they get down all the time. People who are doing Afrobeat, they know how to collab. For my hip hop competitive heads, put your ego down and do what's best for the song. That's why I'm very proud of us. We trust each other enough, and we knew each other enough. We say we never worry about the ego. We want to make great music, so we wrote the best for the song. If he's better for a bridge, we're gonna use his vocals for a bridge. It's not personal, you know what I mean? If I'm better for the hook, we're gonna use my vocals for it. It's not personal. We love that. That's the first thing. Then, it's not a collab project without the right engineer. It's gotta be the right engineer. And what I mean by that is you can pay for talent all the time, but do you trust them with your sound, especially when you're creating a new sound? Do the revisions. Take the time. We took time to give every song its proper love. Hip hop, we just spit something for 30 minutes and just be alright, cool, we ready to rumble. But with each song, in some cases, we did the mixes 2 or 3 times over a stretch of a month. Sometimes we're like, okay, scrap this, get a different version, re-record, we got it, re-record the whole thing. You know, we would sit for a week to write something. If it took a week, like Welcome Home, it took a week. Hey, don't rush the process. You want quality. You want it to represent yourself, especially on a project this short. Now, obviously, you know, because of the throwaways, I wish this would have been a longer LP project. I wish we could have done that for y'all. But we're up against the time. It's May. We started in November. It's time to get it out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if all y'all want to do a collab project, we promise y'all do it. Do something that you're not comfortable with, force you to grow, get better.
Make sure you have a backup for almost everything. It's important. Because part of the reason why this is short is because of that. We ain't gonna go into too much detail, but
yeah.
You
You know what I'm saying? Backups for everything, including the engineers. You know what I mean? But look, that's your hit right there. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, we love y'all. Expect to see more from us. Trust me, this ain't the end of Adam and Jill. Trust me, it's just the beginning, fam. You know what I'm saying? We're getting too good at this. We love making music together. So yeah, man. And if any of y'all want to reach out to us, follow us on Instagram. Everything that you need is in the description. Go stream that. Go like that. We're gonna see y'all the next time we here. All right, bro. Y'all be good.